What's good, Dokkan Ninja Turtles? So we have Union Master and we also have Infinite Dragon Ball history. Now with the Union Master, two things we need to talk about. But before we get to that one, look, if you haven't subscribe, turn on notifications, all the good stuff. We're close to 40,000 subscribers. I greatly appreciate if we can hit that before the next. Well, I don't know if we hit it before the next one. I might be getting a little too carried away with y'all and hitting the like button and all that stuff. I might be getting a little too carried away right there. But I would love to hit it in the new celebrations coming up in September. That would be dope. But Infinite Dragon Ball, great. Got some Dragon songs along the way, all this stuff. But Union Master, put your team formation skills to the test. Attempt the event and aim to get Dragon Stones. Put your formation skills to the test. I feel like this might be one of those like niche fights where we have a bunch of like characters that have gotten like easy A's, or even just niche sort of characters that come out that are necessarily good in certain situations, and also like against certain categories, whatever. I think this might be one of these fights like that, especially if it has multiple stages with it. They might be going back into it and being like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and start like looking back at all these other like characters, these side spicy and featured units and everything that are good in these situations. Like we make a unit, for instance, like a Trunks or something, like I think like the Tech Super Saiyan Trunks, the one that does Heat Dome, where he's like good future and all that stuff. It's like, oh, okay, that's good in that situation. Like he's good there. Maybe probably not at this moment in time, but you know what I'm saying. Like we might have to do things like that, because I doubt it's going to be a situation where they're going to be like, just run. I could be wrong though. I'm going to say this right now. I could be wrong with what I'm saying, but I don't think they're going to go, yeah, let's just have you bring your normal team in and wipe it out. Like, I think it might be a situation where you might have to bring this, that, and all that stuff, depending on certain situations of missions and stuff like that. Because if they're not missions that are like sort of category based, but if it's like beat the enemy this sort of way, or beat the enemy this way, or dodge this many times, something along the lines of that, because we don't really have a lot of missions sort of like that. Could be something that necessarily pops off here. But the other sort of bigger thing that's been going around in the community currently right now, and that's who we have right here, and also Union Master. Like Union, multiple things, or one. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on with this? Because a lot of people are necessarily saying, hey, is this sort of a tease of what's going to be the Tanabata sort of theme, Union? Because let me say this. We just got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. No matter how you feel about him currently right now, depending on certain events and all that stuff, but we just got him standalone LR, and you know how the year was going before and prior, where standalone fusion LRs were very scarce. If Gogeta was the first one to do it, and that would make sense because he's the biggest cash cow, and also the cool factor wise, he's the bigger sort of draw in that. If they were going to do that again with, say, Super Vegito, Super Gogeta, or Super Saiyan Gogeta, maybe even the Blues, that would make a lot of sense. It really would. I still don't want to be off the train of Daima, but at the same time, I don't want to overlook this, because they do have a history with sort of leaking a little bit of what's going to happen, and also throwing us completely off the rails of when it comes to sort of their PNGs for events and stuff like that that are going to be upcoming. You could go either way with this one. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what people are going to say in the comments over this, because yeah, you could go either way on like, they could be throwing us off, or we could have a fusion popping off again, and like standalones are the ones we got. And let's be real, if that happens, then fusion category skyrockets. I would have to say at that point, would just whoo. Yeah, Gotenks, Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta, and then you bring in let's just to say, even you bring in a Super Vegito and a Super Saiyan Gogeta, or Super Vegeta, or Super Gogeta, or even the Blues. and they have crazy support and whatever on that, you could go either way. Like I said, I still want to be Team Dime on this one, just because we still got roughly about 11 days until September really. Well, we got 11 days until September really does start. So, we'll have to see what necessary pops off if we get any sort of, crazy leaks on the data downloads. Because we're gonna see if they tighten that shit up, because we are gonna have a maintenance tonight. And let's just say, I'm laughing my butt off right now, because if that maintenance goes live and an hour into that maintenance, people are posting all kinds of crap about, hey, we just got the leak through this with these idiots put this in here. Like, if that happens, man, they might be cooked. Real talk. I hope they've learned the lesson that they don't do something like that, because like I said, it's still 11 days and they can also have another day to download just prior before. I hope it's not the case. I really do, but we're gonna have to see on that one, because like I said, we're gonna see if they learn from their mistakes and they don't put things that shouldn't be in the data downloads too early in. We'll have to see, especially with a version update as well too, because that version update can tell us a lot of things that's going to be upcoming as well that they possibly don't want us to know yet as well. But we're gonna see. We are gonna see. Like, I'm excited for this one, just because I don't know if it's going to be extremely hard, or if it's just going to be another sort of like pushover event where we're just going to be able to get a little bit of Dragon Stones, because they're just like, hey, here's another event. It's got a lot of missions with it. You can get a lot of Dragon Stones out of it, which would be cool. I'll take it. I ain't gonna complain about that. But we'll have to see, because new characters, new players in the Dokkan currently right now and stuff like that. We'll have to see what necessarily happens. But let me know in the comments section below how you guys are feeling about this Union Master, and if you think this is a tease for the upcoming celebration for the Tanabata. You can go either way on this one. You could literally sway either way. I still want to be Team Daima, but anything can happen. Again, not just looking at the super side. I mean, there's still Buhan as well too. There's so I mean, you can throw in Kid Buu and all that stuff. Anyone else is fused, throw them in as well. But other than that, have an awesome day /night. Stay safe, and I'm out.